Hello, hello. Welcome back to the show. Nicole Holland here, and I'm thrilled to bring you on this Valentine's Day, one of my favorite platforms. And yeah, my my friend Gavin Zuchlinski, he's the founder of Acuity Scheduling. It's the slickest way for businesses to automate and manage their appointments online, allowing clients to schedule themselves. Gavin's a self-professed tech geek and espresso maniac, a word he does not use lightly, and who wholeheartedly believes that business should be fun. Acuity Scheduling supports over 100,000 businesses of all sizes, from people working for themselves to major corporations with thousands of employees. Their customer service is unmatched in this industry as they focus on easy and pain-free scheduling with one-on-one support as they help their clients' businesses grow and thrive. And if we have ever discussed um, online scheduling, and or you've ever asked me about what to use, you know that I am an Acuity fanatic. I believe everybody should be on this. And so, of course, today I wanted to bring one of my most favorite tools, the one I love, that I wish everybody would be on. So, Gavin, hello and welcome back to my show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely. So today we're going to dive into why Acuity, and we're going to even take a little look behind the scenes because I think it's really important for us to be able to make informed decisions. And, whenever I see it all the time, like in Facebook, people are asking, which this should I use or which that should I use? And so this is why I really love bringing the founders of tools that I think are really amazing and are going to help your business grow. But sometimes you want to see behind the scenes because you don't know. It's just like one person's opinion versus another person's opinion. And I've been with Acuity as a customer for years, and I've seen the growth. I've seen the passion of this group, and it's unmatched. So before we dive in and start looking behind the scenes, Gavin, can you just give us an overview of what the purpose of using your platform is, and kind of how you decided to create this, why you decided to create this? And I think this was what, 11, 12 years ago that you started Acuity?
Yeah, it's hard for me to remember, but it was around 2006 when Acuity first started. And it was originally created for my mom, a massage therapist, after I saw her going back and forth with clients, listening to all their crazy excuses why they had to book and cancel their appointments and all of that. And I knew that there had to be a better way. And that's where Acuity was born out of. It's meant for businesses like her or anybody else whose day-to-day really revolves around appointments, a way to just offer and manage your appointments online in a very easy way, with the hope that you can help to automate all those things that go into managing the logistics and the rigmarole around getting an appointment set up, getting all the information from people, for a podcast, their bio and headshot, or for a massage, maybe their medical history, gather that all into one place, send out reminders to make sure that they actually show up to their appointment, get things paid or just a deposit and booked in advance, take care of as much of the logistics as possible, so that way you as the business owner can focus on really what you're best at, just doing your job, performing the podcast, being the massage therapist, coaching somebody, and let Acuity Scheduling take care of all of the rest.
Brilliant. Yeah. And so you mentioned podcasts, massage, there's coaching. I had a client who we built out an Acuity system around her photography business, so
Mhm.
that she's taking the money beforehand, and you've got the add-ons and all that stuff. So there's so much to this system,
Yeah.
or so many options, and I think so many ways to really replace an assistant, that like and save so much time in terms of your management of clients and customers, and even those discovery
Mhm.
calls or consults, whatever it is, and you have all kinds of fun stuff. So, is there anyone that Acuity really doesn't serve that would not benefit from this?
Oh my gosh. So, just in general, it feels like when Acuity first started, I looked around for what would be a great fit for my mom to use, and there wasn't really anything. Now that's changed. There's a million and one different schedulers. Um, some of them are great products, but it's one of those things too where I see a lot of different schedulers out there, and it's more of a feature instead of something that's truly meant to help you run your business, just a convenient way to find an appointment. So if you're one of those people that is booking, just maybe one appointment a week or so, um, one of those things might just be a great fit for you. Acuity might be very similar to that in that respect. But if you're somebody whose day to day really revolves around appointments, if without an appointment you're not making money, that's really where our sweet spot is. So we are definitely available to help anybody who's doing appointment booking. If you're, doing a tow truck business and just getting people calling you on the side of the road, we're not going to be a great help for that. If you're scheduling, 1, 2 appointments per week, that's probably just as easy to do through email or whatever free scheduling application comes with your CRM. If you're truly caring about making money and running a business that is based on appointments, if you really care about the reliability, the stability, and something that's growing as you grow with your business and not being stuck with your appointments in one platform as you grow and expand to be more than just yourself, or as you start to need more in-depth automation, that's really where we find our sweet spot.
Awesome. And, as you were saying that too, I was thinking we should probably mention that this is an amazing platform for both online and offline
Mhm.
businesses that do appointments, including like
Yeah.
group classes and things like that.
I'm always amazed with what people are using Acuity for. Like when I started out, I was like, oh, cool. Like there's probably going to be maybe a few thousand massage therapists around the US that are going to use it. And now we're like at well over like 100,000 businesses using it every month. And I am shocked, like from people doing coaching, which is generally, we tend to see that being a remote type of business. So we optimize for like automatically, scheduling Zoom calls and including that into emails to try to help those businesses, over to like health and wellness or beauty businesses, like nail salons who really say care about integrating scheduling with their Instagram feed because that's where they get most of their clients. Like we've learned so much just by the variety of businesses out there, so that those ones who run the physical business, we can, make sure the address is in there and it shows up and like make it easy for people to go to the location. Or talking about the tow truck business, maybe not quite that one, but say if you're doing yard work, I've seen people use Acuity for that, which is not one that I expected at first, but it makes tons of sense. And to try to help some of those businesses, we have it so you can create intake forms and enter your the address of where you, as say the client's house is, so that you as the business owner, when you go in, you can just tap on each appointment and instantly see a map of where you have to go and get directions to go there too. Yeah, so from online businesses dealing with people in different time zones and scheduling video calls and everything else, to in person dealing with having to drive to a different area, trying to make sure that your appointments are stacked throughout the day. Yeah, it's been a crazy learning experience from everything. I just pulled up on my screen here, we just recently did a survey of all to try to figure out all the different types of businesses that use us. And it's one of those that's been so interesting to see that there's like no business that's a majority with Acuity, that we really are cross vertical and successfully doing that too, just based off of seeing, yeah, photography, beauty, health and wellness, coaching and fitness and education and consulting and all of these crazy different things that I didn't anticipate going into this.
And I bet like real estate and insurance, it's just
Mhm.
amazing to be able, especially in this day and age, people expect to be able in an instant to do what they want to do, like, and it's so great to have a 24/7 place you can go online as as a
Mhm.
customer and like book your appointment without having to, you know, call and, go through business hours
Oh,
and things like that. So,
yeah, yeah. We a while back we did a little survey and looked at when clients were booking their businesses versus when businesses were closed, and found it was around 40% of appointments were booked when the business was just closed, like outside of their office hours. So when clients are booking their appointments are when it's most convenient for them, which most folks have day jobs and everything else too, so they're not necessarily booking when you're there available to pick up the phone or answer the email at the office. They're booking when they're sitting in front of the TV, watching Netflix, and realize that they need to get their hair appointment done, or need to, maybe do some acupuncture or something like that. And we've seen that too, and heard from many folks where it's almost a competitive advantage to have online appointment scheduling, because not necessarily because of the online part, but because of the increased convenience. Just by making it much easier for clients to book appointments, you're going to have an advantage over those competitors of yours who don't have that. And if your competitors are somebody who does have online appointment scheduling, then you probably have to catch up to them a little bit too.
yeah. And one of the things that I have been asked and told, like I get compliments and questions all the time about my reminder emails and the things that go out, and people are like, I had somebody ask me, it's like, so I think this is automated. Like, I think this is a template, but it doesn't feel like a template. Is it a template? And I say, yeah, it's a template. So it's like it's amazing to be able to offer high touch and make people feel really valued when you're really not doing anything. Like I give people the link. There's a form to fill out depending on what type of appointment. I have all different kinds of appointments in there, and then people fill out the form and everything comes to me. And this might be a little bit over some people's heads that are listening because I'm very much of a geek and I love your platform and have done all kinds of fun stuff with it. But like I have my system set up where oftentimes for appointments, I have them fill it out. It books the appointment. It goes right on my calendar. And then it also, I create the file folder and everything automatically inside of my Google Drive for that interview. And at the same time, it also goes to my Trello board as a card. And it's like, we save per interview probably about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. No, it would be more if I included the emails too. So let's say, we're saving at least an hour per guest on what would need to be done manually. And I haven't seen any other system be as robust. And also, not to beat a dead horse, but I'm just so impressed over the years of, your growth in terms of the team and the energy, the customer service aspect, like the people who work for you are on it. And so it's very impressive. And we did talk about this in a past interview we did. I don't know if it was for a summit or for the show, but that was really good. And I'll see if I can link that up in the show notes where we talked about the customer satisfaction and all that. That really is important to you for your company. But for people who are listening on the podcast right now, we're actually doing this on video. So if you head on over to the NicoleHollandshow.com, you can find the show notes page and see what we're about to do. We're going to dive in to Acuity Scheduling. So Gavin, do you mind showing your screen and letting us know kind of where you're starting at? What, did you want to start from setting up an account, or yeah, okay, I guess that's what you're doing.
Yeah, you got it. I don't have any canned accounts set up for this, so we can just do it on the fly. And getting at what you were talking about before, too, just how much customization you were able to do. Um, uh, yeah, that's something that I care about so deeply, is that a business should be able to set up their account for how they really run their business and show off their brand, not the brand of the scheduler or anything else. So we let you do tons and tons of customization with that intent that you as the business owner can really customize it, set up your availability, which is what we're looking at right now, to really reflect how you run your business. So with this appointment scheduling, availability is obviously one of those very, very core things, and something that we have spent so many hours thinking about that hopefully is reflected in a very easy to use way, but offers you tons of flexibility. So when we're in here now, we can set the regular hours that we have, for normal weekdays, or we can switch that to say just set up specific days. So a lot of times what we see for say photographers is that if you're doing a holiday mini sessions, you might be only doing that for a week at a time, early December, and then not have anything else. So you can set that up pretty quickly here, say 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., just for the week from the 17th through the 21st. Set our hours on here, and that's it.
Can I jump in here and just
Mm-hmm.
kind of going back? So this is the availability, but you can have availability that's different for different types of appointments, right? So you've got appointment types. So for somebody like me, and this is something that I see and talk with people about all the time, because they don't realize,
Mm-hmm.
they think, okay, they're just doing one availability thing, but you can actually have different appointment types,
Mm-hmm.
and you can make everything private to where you only give the link. It's like not everybody can see all the appointment types. You just give the link to certain people, and those people can book within whatever availability you share. And also, I think worth mentioning now is about how when you do integrate it with your calendar, it will only show availability at times that are available in your calendar. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
like you're going to overbook yourself. Like you can really um, be very specific about that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're watching us on the screen, we're setting up a couple of different types of appointments for, say, a few different services you offer. So you can have your podcast interview that's private and not everybody can see, and your discovery call that's available for anybody going to your scheduling page. So you can run a few different things in here. And now I'm just customizing this so I can make it just a bit easier to remember. Say my business name as.me slash like podcast that I can share with somebody so they can quickly be able to book an appointment. And yeah, and just once after you set up all of your different services, and you can have as many different ones as you want, you can start to categorize them, make some private so that you can have, say, if you had a group of a couple of different types of sessions, like like for you doing podcast interviews, you have these like deep dive technical calls. You have ones that are more general with guests. You can have them, say, with different durations on here. And then getting back to what you had talked about briefly in availability too, is you can set different availability for all of these. So if you only wanted to do your podcast interviews on say Mondays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can set that up and then make your discovery calls available every day of the week, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And these will make sure that when you have a discovery call, you can't also have a podcast interview. When you have a podcast interview, you can't also have a discovery call, unless you wanted to. And that it's also double checking with your Google Calendar, iCal, Outlook, Office 365, any of that you have, you can also set up that type of, syncing with calendars to make sure that when somebody books an appointment, you are truly available. The hope is that you can start to automate all of this too. And then from what we talked about before too, we can show that off briefly, is now we have a couple of different appointment types set up, each with their own different set of availability. One of them is
Can
private, one of them is public. We can go into emails and set up, say, a different template so that we can customize the content differently for our podcast interview, and let people know, say, make sure you have your um, fancy mic ready.
Can I just also jump in here
Mhm.
and mention that also with the availability, when you create the different appointment types, if like, for example, for me, I know I need an hour break between interviews because
Mhm.
oftentimes there's, stuff to write and just, get extra water and things like that. So you can actually set up to where people can't book back to back.
Mhm.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for showing that.
Yeah, yeah. So being able to set up, some padding in between there, and oh my gosh, we can jump around between all of these things too that I didn't show off too, is just setting different limits too. Like a discovery call, you might not need that much prep time for, and people can book that an hour in advance, 12 hours a day in advance. Whereas a podcast interview, you might need a bit more time to prep, and say, don't allow people to, book fewer than like 2 days in advance, or don't allow booking too far into the future. Um, with that too, there's so many more just limits that you can set on things to give you as much control as possible over whether you want to, you're just getting started in your business and you want to be able to make the schedule maybe look a little bit busier, so that somebody coming to you, book a nail appointment for the first time doesn't see absolutely every appointment available. You can do that. And then once you start to get busier too, what we tend to see is people wanting to make sure that their appointments are booked back to back every day. So whereas you need, an hour in between your podcast because you find it so draining to talk to me, you get other folks who say, if you're traveling to an office, you want to make sure that when you travel, your 30-minute commute to the office, that you're spending the most effective time there. So you can force it so that after somebody books an appointment, that the next people after that are always booked back to back around there, so you can cluster things together throughout the day too. With the goal with all of this is that you can have, multiple staff with all these different services, allow you to pool availability or schedule classes and group events, so that you can have your training classes. And if you're doing, say, like a group session, you can do that all in person, all remote. Is that all of these tools combined give you the most flexibility that you can set up your schedule to really reflect how you run your business. Some of these things that we're talking about, like minimizing gaps in between appointments, it does get pretty advanced, and you can do a lot of that, but you can start out with really just the basics. The basics are setting up the hours that you're available, setting the types of services you offer, um, and that's pretty much it. And then maybe adding a little bit of branding to your scheduling page, that when clients go to book their appointments, they can see your logo, and see your business being shown off. And the scheduling part hopefully is as easy as possible and taken care of. And then once you start to establish your business and you realize that, oh, I really want my podcast interviews to be on one specific day, or I need to change the limits for this, or I need to make things back to back, all of those options are available to help you grow with your business too.
And because I want to talk a little bit about the more advanced features
Oh
because
yeah.
my listeners are established entrepreneurs. I'm going to butt in again about the emails and just mention that as wonderful as this template is that's here, you can actually get rid of the entire thing and write an email like you were writing it to that individual person, and thank you, and add in the customization. There we go. Yeah. So it seems like, and this is what I was mentioning before, and this is what I get a lot of feedback about, um, is how it feels very personal. And I'll have people respond to these emails. So I'll send out an email, for example, just before the interview saying, hey, I am just getting set up, looking forward to seeing you in a little bit. And or the day before email, like people will actually write me back and tell me how they're looking forward to things too, so they don't necessarily realize that it's a templated email. And you can also add in those links, like if you need to cancel or or change the appointment, like you can do that. Here's the link to do that. And then there's also like I have a footer where I'll say, let's connect on social, and I link up all of my social. So you can really do anything with these emails that you could do in your regular email account and write that email and just have the fields in there to
Mhm.
change the to give those specifics like Gavin's showing, hey, first is their first name, looking forward to type, and it'll give them the exact type of interview they or appointment that they booked with you on, and it'll give the time and the date and time that that's for. So yeah, is that okay? I just like
Oh,
totally
that
took
was
over.
perfect. You say it so much better than me. Yeah, so along with that too, the same goes for being able to customize anything. If you're getting super fancy, you can even do your own custom HTML for emails, for reminders, cancellation, rescheduling, all of that to make it really reflect your brand. And if you are into customization too, the scheduling page you can embed directly into your website to make it look like part of your website. I even add custom CSS onto there too if you really, really wanted to customize it.
And
And then
while you're
somebody,
on this page,
Mhm.
can you talk about also the package and gift certificate? Because that's freaking exciting for people who sell packages of recurring appointments.
Oh, sure. So with packages and gift certificates and even subscriptions we offer now too, you can sell, say, a package of, say, a discovery call and 5 follow-on calls for a fixed price that somebody can buy in advance. It helps you, with the business for your cash flow around the holiday season. Gift certificates become extremely popular too around Mother's Day for all of that too, so that somebody can go on, they can buy a gift certificate, buy a package of appointments, get that, say, fixed number of minutes, say, 60 minutes of any of, 1 hour, hot stone massage, Swedish massage, sports massage, something like that. And Acuity will help track the balance of that too. So you don't need to start jotting around down in your notebook anymore who owes what and who has how much remaining. All of that is taken care of, and people, if you have it set up to your payment processor, and we support Stripe, Square, PayPal, Braintree, Authorize.net, all of these. Somebody can purchase that gift certificate, pay for it online, share it with somebody, and then have that so that they can book it online too. And all of that is taken care of automatically for you. And on top of that, too, one of the things that we've added recently are subscriptions. So if you want to give somebody, say, 4 coaching appointments per month and for $200, they can go online, they can sign up for a subscription, and have their card billed automatically, $200 every month, and they'll get those 4 coaching appointments that they can redeem at any time also. And all of that recurring billing is taken care of automatically for you, with the appointments tracked automatically too, to hopefully save you even more time with all of that managed.
And this is why I just love Acuity so much. And I'm such an advocate because, as you can see, or if you're listening, as you can hear, this is not just a scheduler. This
Mhm.
is a whole like front office. This is just, I feel like it's really amazing. And there's just so much that you can do with this. And once you set it up, and it does take a little while to set up, if you really want that high level of customization, it takes like no time at all to set up if you just want the basic. But if you really want this platform to be able to work for you and set it up with customization and everything, it's like once it's done, it's done. And you can update, as Gavin was saying, you can change things anytime. If I have something coming up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have too many appointments, I'll just like shut down my schedule for, whatever time I need to. And just create, when I do my dinners, things like that, I can create that event inside of Acuity with the payment information and just give the people who are invited the link. And it's like, and I can say there's 12 seats at the table, and when they're gone, they're gone. So it's pretty exciting. And yeah, I really appreciate you showing all this. And I know we've got some more things to show, but before you do, just because I feel like a lot of people would think, wow, like this is a lot for that it can do and replace so many hours that I'm already paying humans to schedule and all of that stuff. Can you just go over the pricing real quick too for what Acuity is? Because I still think it's a little bit crazy.
Absolutely. So I'm pulling up the pricing page now so you can we have a completely free plan which offers the basic scheduling with as many different types of appointments as you want, completely free. Uh, Up from that is the Emerging Entrepreneur Plan, which is just $15 per month, and that is great if you're a single person, and it starts to give you some more advanced features like we were showing off with, say, being able to set different availability for different types, being able to cluster appointments together throughout the day, and customize emails, and start to really get into those bits that you can customize and show off your brand. So if you just need truly basic scheduling, Freebie is right there for you. Once you start to get into the areas where you want to customize the branding of your page and work with some of the more advanced availability features, that starts at $15 per month and accept payments too. And then once it starts to expand out from just you to multiple people on staff, that's when the growing business at $25 a month is the best fit. That offers everything an emerging entrepreneur. And then with growing business, you start to also be able to get subscriptions, appointment packages, unlimited text messaging worldwide. So you can get text notifications whenever an appointment is scheduled, or you can also have it set up so that clients get text message reminders before their appointments too. And you can have up to 6 people on staff. And if you need more than that, our Powerhouse plan at $50 a month offers way more calendars that you can have over 36 people available on staff, along with everything else, still unlimited text messaging, subscriptions, packages, blah blah blah, customizing CSS, and a ton more. If you go to acuityscheduling.com, that's ACUITY scheduling.com, and go to the pricing page, you can check that out and see the full list of all the different features and what's included on each plan. Which is, oh my gosh, it's so many listed on there. Sometimes I forget that we have so many different things, like especially with the integrations too. I know Nicole loves that part in it too. With all our plans, you can integrate into dozens of different apps directly from inside of Acuity so that you can power a lot more of those complex workflows and really start to chip away from, just saving, 10, 15 minutes organizing the appointment, to now all of a sudden all of those logistics, like whenever an appointment is scheduled, adding the client into, say, FreshBooks or QuickBooks and generating an invoice, to having people opt into your email marketing campaign in MailChimp or Aweber, or geez, yeah, setting up the Zoom meeting, GoToMeeting, Join Me, and if we need 1,000 other applications, Zapier integration is there for you also. Oh my
Awesome,
gosh.
awesome. Okay, so sorry to take you away from where you were going
Oh,
with all
sure. No, I'm
this
like,
stuff.
I forgot so much is on this page too.
It's
We list all of
amazing.
our payment processors and everything too. Oh,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
Instagram
Look at
booking and
that. I didn't even realize you did mention Instagram, but I haven't even looked at this in a while. So there's a lot more. And you guys are always adding and making you guys are always adding to the user experience and making it easier. And I think what's really nice too is how responsive you are. So if clients or customers, if we as the
Mhm.
people who are using your platform have an idea where we're like, okay, I really want to do this with Acuity. I have found that you guys are very receptive to, like, for example, Somplero. We had Calvin Corelli from Somplero on the show as well. And, you two connected and created this integration. So I think that that's really nice as well, is how responsive you are to your customers. If they need something, it's not that you can guarantee everybody's always going to get what they want, but if it makes sense, I think you guys go above and beyond what most companies do to make the customer experience the best it can be.
Yeah, we listen to absolutely everything, catalog everything, and have way too many notes about it. Doesn't mean we can always add everything, but really all the improvements come from folks like you. And that's how we do come up with all of our improvements too. And we are constantly iterating on everything. Oh my gosh, always adding new features. Just in general, we normally have about, uh, you know, 3 to 4 new deployments of Acuity scheduling each day. Some of those will be invisible features or invisible updates that you might not notice, but are meant to just simplify the user experience or make things a little bit more streamlined or speed things up for you too. To larger updates and features, probably by the time this call comes out, one of the big things we're working on is just translating the client scheduling page too, so that your scheduling page can be, instantly available in Portuguese or French or anything else instead of just English also. So tons is always going on. Keeps it
Awesome.
exciting for me and you, I hope.
Yes, very exciting. Okay, and then you were gonna show us something where I interrupted and asked you about, I don't know, something, the pricing. Was there something else
Oh
you
my
wanted to
gosh,
show us?
I don't even know. We've got, yeah, we have
Oh, intake forms. Yeah.
intake forms is a great one. Folks love this one too, where you can set up um, forms to start to ask for pretty much any type of information you want. And it is extremely customizable, so that you can, the hope is that you can start to ask clients for all the information in advance. You, as the business owner, can make things internal, so you can use it to keep private notes about clients to say, keep track of their status in between appointments and how they're progressing along. And all of this, you can create any type of form you want directly integrated with your scheduling and directly integrated with your list of clients in here, so that you just stay totally organized, and completely prepared when appointments come around. And I know, Nicole, you're a big user of this, especially with the podcast too, so that when somebody is booked on the podcast, you're you're ready to actually have them on.
Yeah, and I actually have three different types. Actually, so I have three different types of interviews on the show, right? We have the personal journey story, we have the masterclass, and we have the resource shares. So in my Acuity scheduling, I have a different form for each type of interview that I do. And then I also have a general questions form. And then I also have a media release. So the neat thing too that I didn't realize until I thought, oh, I wonder if I can do this, is that you can actually add multiple forms, multiple intake forms to your appointment so that people can't actually book until, so if you have an appointment that's a paid appointment, people cannot actually complete the booking until they pay. And if you have a form, they also have to fill out the form, or Acuity does not allow them to move forward. So it's really nice. If I do some kind of retreat or an event, I may want to have a special form just related to that event. Plus, I may want to have a form that asks about dietary restrictions and things like that, that goes on all of the events. So it's really neat that with forms, you can create different questions for different appointments and add those forms onto whatever, only to whatever ones you want. So you get to decide which forms go with which appointments. And the other thing I want to mention is that um, you may have seen, if you're watching the video here at the NicoleHollandShow.com, you may have seen that it had a little checkbox for internal. So there's the internal forms where you can actually create something for yourself or your team to take notes on. But you can also create external forms that are what I'm talking about, that go with the appointment that people sign up for.
Yeah, you nailed it. That was great. I feel like I'm showing off everything, and you are telling everything perfectly.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like I've said before, this is why this is on Valentine's Day, because I love Acuity. Seriously, it is like the number one tool that I use to run my business. And I would say the other favorite tool is Zoom, but I could completely run my business without Zoom, but not without Acuity. Absolutely not without Acuity. And so, yeah, Gavin mentioned it's Acuity scheduling, and You can also just come to the show notes page where we'll have that linked up, or you can go to thenicolehollandshow.com/acuity to sign up for your free account. Gavin, we didn't even talk about this beforehand. I probably should have asked you beforehand. Do you have any kind of special offer, special gift for my listeners?
Absolutely.
As I put you on the spot.
I know. We will set up a link to get an extended 45-day trial instead of our normal 14-day trial. Go to acuityscheduling.com /Nicole. That's ACUITY scheduling.com /NICOLE.
Thank you, Gavin. As I throw you on the spot, I totally
Oh,
meant
you
to
got
talk
it.
with you about that.
Anytime for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I know you've been so generous with my audience in the past, and I want to make sure that that my audience now, who's like sitting here going, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh," I hope you didn't already go sign up, because acuityscheduling.com /Nicole will get you 45 days free, and that is that on any of the plans.
Yes, absolutely.
So
On
you
any
can
of the
really,
plans, including Powerhouse, you can get 45 days free.
yeah, so I really would encourage you. I mean, if you want to, if you're like excited about all this automation that I keep talking about and you want to do that yourself, I would encourage you to get one of the plans that suits you, where you can do that so you can really experience what it's like. It literally, gosh, I think I started, yeah, it was 2015. 2015. So it's been a few
Wow.
years when I first became a customer. And at that time, I had an assistant and I was just starting out. So I didn't have a lot of appointments. Um, and it took me a while to really get into and understand all the fancy things you can do. But once I started understanding those fancy things, my assistant was saving at least 10 hours a week, doing appointments and scheduling and getting all the information from guests and things like that. And so it was like it paid off immediately, even with the
That's
minimal
like an
information.
hour of saved time would pay for itself, and that's that much per week.
Absolutely. It's like, and now, like I said, I take the time to set things up, set all the emails up, and reminders and all of those things. And once it's done, like it takes me some time to set it up. But once it's done, the other thing is you can duplicate things in there, can't you?
Oh, yeah. So once you get, intake forms, if you wanted to just tweak something with that, you can absolutely duplicate that, or your appointment types too. Once you get things, say your podcast, you always have the same set of, padding and forms attached and all that, and you just want to change it from a 30 to offer an extended 60-minute one for some guests. It's just as easy as duplicating and then changing the 30 to a 60, so you get the extended one.
Amazing. And this is something I do too with, you may notice that some of the guests that I have on the show are on the show for more than one interview type. And so for those folks, I have duplicated appointments. And so they get, like I said before, they'll get multiple forms. So they only have the general questions once, they only have the media release once, but they have the, let's say, resource share and master class all in one. And they have the double time. So they don't have to fill out multiple forms. I don't know if that makes much sense,
Mhm.
but it's so exciting. And I mean, we're talking a lot about podcasting because that's one of the things I do a lot of. But literally, I use this for everything. Even um, just recently, I decided, I love my business BFFs, but we get talking, and it is like distracting from the tasks at hand. So I've created appointments for just for my friends, like my business friends or any friends, for like personal calls in the evening where I'm not booking anything else. So it's like after the day is done, then I've got a type of appointment that they can set up, um, to schedule a time for us to hang out and chat, and catch up. So that's, and thank you for demonstrating this here. But yeah, then I just give them those, that link specifically, and it's great. Like, you can run. Oh, another use that I can mention too is if you have, an assistant that, books personal appointments for you. Maybe you have a personal assistant, and, or, something like, I know for me, if I have to have a doctor's appointment, or if I want to get my hair done or whatever, I don't want to go ahead and take the time often to, make those appointments. So somebody else can make those appointments for me. And I have a private special link just for the assistant that basically allows bookings anytime between whatever and whatever, for those personal appointments. And I set up a form so that she can actually input all the details I need. So where is it located? What is the phone number? Who am I meeting with? All of these things. So you can even do things like that where if you do have somebody managing, some specific aspect, that it's not 100% like DIY where you would just send somebody the link to book in, but you have somebody managing some bookings. Acuity is amazing for that too, because you can really, with those forms, specify exactly the information that you need to have in order to, um, to do something, and the times. So just another use case.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I've heard about people once they start to get set up with Acuity for their business, it's just a simple addition of some more personal events on there, and you can start to let Acuity act as the gatekeeper for your calendar too, so that you can really keep your schedule in check and not, be getting called off to coffee dates all the time with people and have your schedule packed with that. You can start to set the priorities of, I want this time just for, say, my new clients, and have those appointments then, or my returning clients at any time, or coffee calls, just on Friday afternoon, something like that.
Yeah. And you also have the ability in Acuity to limit how many per week, how many per day, things like that, which is also very exciting. And I appreciate you showing this, but I also looked at the time, and I know that you have got to go. Um, so yeah, thank you for showing that. That's amazing. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, definitely come on over to the NicoleHollandshow.com, and on the show notes page, you'll be able to leave a comment, leave a question, leave some kind of, thoughts, or what have you. And, I'll make sure that either myself or Gavin can answer those. And of course, I highly recommend that you go to acuityscheduling.com/Nicole to get your 45-day free, trial, and you're going to fall in love with Acuity, as I have. So thank you so much for that, Gavin.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope everybody signs up. And if you have any questions at all, we're here to help. Support at acuityscheduling.com, or yeah, just feel free to reach out directly after you've had a try at it. So thank you, Nicole.
For sure. And I will also mention that inside of your Acuity account, there is a link that you can go to for help, and right inside also to get the support you need. So
Mhm.
Gavin, thank you so much. It's been wonderful. And, to everybody listening, I hope this has been a valuable experience for you.